All the members of the Beatles were spiritual in one way or another, especially George Harrison and John Lennon. George Harrison went kind of towards Hindu and Hare Krishna and what he called Indian mysticism. He used, I would say, give me a mantra. But John Lennon, who was very cruel to his friends and his wives and his girlfriends through the years, kind of was a lost soul. Now, I'm not saying this song was Christian rock, but a lot of Christian rock theorists are basically saying the basis of the Christian rock movement. There's a lot of parallels with this song. Now, this comes from Rubber Soul, and a lot of people don't really know that this song has a lyric. It's called The Word. Now, The Word is a song by the Beatles, written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney, and recorded with Lennon on lead vocals. First released on their 65 album, Rubber Soul. Now, it was released on the 3rd of December and recorded just only 24 days before on the 10th of November at EMI. At 2:41, it won the average length for singles, but it was on Parlophone, not on Apple. Now, George Martin produced it. Now, John Lennon, again, had a tough youth because his father abandoned him. He was with a lot of toughs through the years. He was only motivated by music and art, and he was trying to find a way in the world. Now, John Lennon, in published reports, I think it was either the Playboy or the Rolling Stone interview, had felt during his youth that love had been the answer, and had written The Word as his first expression of the concept. He had felt that love was an underlying theme of the universe, that love was fundamental in many things, which had inspired the lyric in the good and bad books that I have read. The song is credited to Lennon McCartney, however, Lennon had stated that was mainly mine. It had marked the first time the Beatles had written a song about love as a concept, which would become more important to band's later work. Because Lennon wrote in God is a concept in which we measure our pain. As in, if you don't believe in God, your pain is worse. But if you believe in God, the pain might be assuaged a little bit by the belief in a higher power. Now, musically, the song is featured on a driving funk beat with few chord changes and a simple melody in the key of D major. The refrain is a 12-bar blues in D. The main chord is D7, also used in Drive My Car and Taxman. So there's a lot of similarities. But again, Rubber Soul, a very strong album. Some people say they're best. But The Word is probably the most underrated song on it because people were saying, what is really John trying to say? Paul McCartney said of this song, John and I would like to do songs with just one more like Long Tong Sally. We got near it in The Word. Now he's in review for the 50th anniversary of Rubber Soul. Jacob Albano of the Classic Rock Review writes that The Word is the first song on its parent album not to be absolutely excellent, calling the harmonies a bit too forced because it kind of drove a few people nuts because it was much away from what the Beatles did from a pop perspective before. However, Albano still considered the song entertaining and complimented the piano backdrop and Starr's drum performance. Far Out's Jack Watley and Tyler Goldson had both considered the song to be an important song for the Beatles and had been considered to be part of a transition from creating pop songs to psychedelic influenced songs. In 2018, the music staff of Time Out London ranked The Word as number 33 in the list of the best Beatles songs. Now, according to Walter Everett, the researcher, John Lennon had lead vocal and rhythm guitar, Paul McCartney on falsetto and double-track backing vocals, bass guitar and piano, George Harrison was on double-track backing vocal and lead guitar, and Starr was on drums and maracas. Of course, George Martin, the producer, was on harmonium. Now, according to the U.S. stereo release of Rubber Soul, Lennon's lead vocal is double-tracked during the song's bridge. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look at the lyrics very deeply, and don't forget, like I said, you have to take it in perspective. This is not a Christian song, but it's Christian elements. See, the only criticism I saw through the lyrics, because some Christian rock thinks, it's baby talk. It's like a Christian song for kids. Well, the Beatles weren't known for heavy lyrics until the Sgt. Pepper White Album. They were trying to hit as many people as possible. So when I play this, tell me if this is not a Christian song as we see it now, like, the praise and worship. Say the word and you'll be free. Say the word and be like me. Say the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, it's sunshine. It's the word, love. In the beginning I was misunderstood, but now I've got it. The word is good. Spread the word and you'll be free. Spread the word and be like me. Spread the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, it's sunshine. It's the word, love. Everywhere I go, I hear it said in the good and bad books that I have read. Say the word and you'll be free. Say the word and be like me. Say the word I'm thinking of. Have you heard the word is love? It's so fine, it's sunshine, it's the word, love. Now that I know what I feel must be right, I'm here to show everybody the light. Give the word a chance to say that the word is just a way. It's the word I'm thinking of, and it's the word, the only word is love. It's so fine, it's sunshine, it's the word love. Say the word love, repeat 4 times. So we hear, let the sun shine in. In this, he's saying that the word love leads to sunshine. They're saying let the sunshine in. So some of the pop and rock hits, Spirit in the Sky. I want to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. So there was a lot of, like, Beatles invented a lot of things. Now, did he invent Christian rock? Now, anybody listening to this that's a Christian is saying, oh, did the Beatles do the lyrics? Remember the famous WKRP episode when this moral majority guy was trying to ban WKRP from playing certain songs? And Mr. Carlson goes in with the lyrics of Imagine, and he says, oh, that's the lyrics are communism. He said, no, it just says Imagine. See, John Lennon was basically going around for most of his life angry. He was angry at the band not having certain success. He was angry he put on weight. He was angry that maybe George and Paul and Ringo were taken more seriously. He was cheating on Cynthia quite a bit. He was basically a shit disturber. And when he started saying we're going to be bigger than Jesus, he didn't mean the concept that Jesus didn't exist. He said we're ended up being bigger than Jesus. Like he said if Jesus was around now, he'd probably be a rock and roll star. That's what he meant. But you see, with the layer, just like Pete Townsend of The Who, when you're that intellectual, for people that are stupid, you see, it's an insult. I knew what John Lennon was saying right away, and I only heard about it when I was 4 or 5 years old. Bigger than Jesus, because conceptually, at the time, religion was fading after Vatican II, and it rose with the hippie freaks. But at the time, the Beatles were their gods, because they were getting stoned to the music, they were fucking to the music, they were dancing to the music, they were listening to music in their cars, it was commercialism. So he had every aspect. But he said, I read it in the good and bad books that I have. It's in the good and bad books that I have read. So he's talking about Satanism, he's talking about atheism, he's talking about Christianity. John Lennon was too smart for the Beatles. Sometimes he was too better than his own good. I have the same problem too when I give these podcasts. You're thinking I've only did one of these podcasts through the years. I've did nearly 5,000 podcasts on my channel, the only journalist in New Brunswick history that has the memory and the intelligence to do these type of podcasts. And it's pretty lonely, and that's what Lennon was saying. He wanted to complete himself. All the women he slept with, beautiful women, he jerked off to Brigitte Bardot and Circle Jerk and Pete Shotton, talk about that. And he settles on Yoko Ono, the mother who was chasing Paul McCartney. I'm telling you something, it was a weird time. Like I said, he found religion, but the religion didn't find him. It didn't make any sense. And by the mid-'70s, the lost weekend, he was back being the angry John Lennon. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it's our latest Beatles podcast, and we're calling now the Beatles podcast the Apple Years. So it ties in to the lead up in creation to Apple. If you like what you're doing here, we're our Apple Years podcast. Let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And don't forget, love is a concept, because God is a concept. The Creator, I'm an Aboriginal person, I'm also Jewish, so I get a mixture of Jesus, the Creator, whatever you want to call him. I'm almost like a Christmas miracle. Thanks for listening. Bye.